today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the NECA Toys Aliens Bishop Queen Attack. I'm sure I don't have to say this, but some spoilers will be in this review as we of course discussed the ill-fated demise of Bishop's lower half. It's cool that not only do we get a severed Bishop, but we also get ourselves the egg, the alien egg, as well as a face hugger, so that's really cool. The side of the package features poor Bishop. He was doing so well too until the end. And then finally on the back, the read-up says, the sole survivor of the Nostromo, Ripley, is discovered in cryogenic sleep 57 years later by a salvage ship. When she is taken to Earth, Ripley learns that the company has established human colonies on the same planet where the alien attack originated. After all contact with the colony is lost, Ripley agrees to return to the planet accompanied by a team of colonial marines. Together they will rescue any survivors that remain and confront the alien menace head-on. Above and beyond Bishop, we also were having a look at Lieutenant Ripley, and there is two different releases of the Alien Warriors. One was red, one was black, and we'll be looking at those in a bit. Of course, you can also head over to www.necaonline.com, check out the other pieces and properties that NECA is producing figures for. Spot's going to take a break, get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Bishop Queen Attack. Don't go anywhere, guys. Stay tuned. Well, with Bishop, let's first have a look at the accessories that come included with the figure. First things first, you got yourself an opened egg. The egg seems bigger than what it should be. I don't know, I'm just gauging it by the size of them, but I guess that's right. I feel as if it should be a little bit smaller. It's got a nice wet paint look to it to give it that slimy, gross appearance. I also dig the fact that it's got these little stretched mucus lines attaching the different, flaps from the egg as it opens up. There's the inside of it. You could take the face hugger and fit it inside. Now the problem I have with the face hugger is something I was noticing as I was playing around with it. The face hugger, decently enough, is painted. Looks quite good. The inside looks very gross and grotesque. I find the problem with mine, though, is that it's wire framed. There's a little, as you can see, there's little holes in it where you can bend the tail. But I noticed some of the areas, as you start bending it, it starts creating this weird chipped kind of gloss. You can see almost where, you can see where this flake stuff has started coming off. I guess because they've put a finish over top of the paint. But when you turn it certain ways, it's starting to crackle that gloss finish that they put over top of it. So I can't say whether this will break off. I mean, I have a little bit of a stress mark on the tail. I wouldn't mess around too much with this face hugger. Kind of just leave it be, because I feel like this could become a problem down the road if you start twisting it too much. Either that or it's not wire framed, but it does look like you can bend it. See, you can actually manipulate the tail. But again, I would just leave it be. As you can see, more paint is more of this clear wash is starting to flake off. That's a bit of a shame. That then brings us to Bishop. Bishop, well, he's half the man he used to be, or I guess half the android that he used to be. How many collectors out there, show of hands, I didn't do this yet, how many people, show of hands, actually thought NECA was not going to release a severed Bishop and then opted to either make one or buy a second one with the intent that you were going to take the torso off and customize your very own severed Bishop? Show of hands? Anybody? Show of hands? I saw on Facebook a whole bunch of NECA collectors out there that were customizing their Bishop to give us this severed effect, and sure enough, NECA delivers with their own. I think it turned out really good. It still keeps the look of Lance Henriksen while just incorporating the slimy android blood covered, because it is kind of just this milk residue that they bleed, but he's just covered in it. And instead of organs, of course, he's got tubes and all the things that would make up a robot. It's really neat. The back side is completely flat, but it's still sculpted. Like they took the time to sculpt the back, even though it's something that you would never see because you would be, of course, having it laying flat. This is probably one of the only figures that I can think of, that you buy it basically with the intent that it's laying flat. You know, unless somebody wants to stand it upright like that and he pretends he's walking around on his hands, but it's the kind of figure that you're going to want to lay flat. I kind of find that funny. I find that kind of interesting. I'm willing to think that while the head is a retool, of course the torso is a retool, I want to think that the arms have stayed the same. Stayed consistently the same with the other Bishop, which unfortunately I don't have at the time of this review. You think I would actually have the Bishop that I could put next to it, but I feel like the arms have stayed the same. They've just covered in a little more of the paint, this milk kind of blood from of course him being ripped in half. A great accompanying piece to Ripley, the Lieutenant Ellen Ripley that we've already looked at. I wonder if they would actually create a diorama that was actually the grilled floor of the ship, and then you can have Bishop actually laying down on. Or what they could have done too is given us like a circular base that you could have just laid Bishop on top. That would have been a nice touch as well. The only thing that we need to complete this look is, well, technically Newt. I don't know if we'll ever get a Newt. And of course the power loader. So I'm super thrilled when that's finally going to get released. In the way of Bishop's articulation, he doesn't have much, but he does have a ball joint that sits actually at the base of his neck rather than the head itself. He has hinged shoulders. They rotate all the way around. And he does have a bend at the elbow, rotation in the forearm, and a hinge in the hand. So despite the fact that he is, again, just half a figure, he still has posability, at least in his arms. Not that you can really do all that much. You can kind of just reach out and say, oh my God, I needed to look around before I just like walked out and started talking to you. But I really like this figure. It's, I like also too that they incorporate the egg. Incorporating something else, because after all, the figure is missing the other half of himself. If we had not gotten an egg, I feel like maybe they could have given us, again, a base or something else to it. But a really cool figure if you are like somebody that likes building your own dioramas and you feel like Bishop just suited a little bit better being a half-severed robot. Today's toy spot, we were having a look at the NECA Toys alien figures. We're looking today at Bishop. The Queen attacked. Poor guy. It's okay. It's okay. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more toy spots heading your way. Thanks for watching as you always do. See you next time.